Hello, this is David from the Bookman and Orange, and I welcome you to Things Found in Old Books. Today we're going to share a book found by a customer. She brought it to our store. Her name is Susan. Thank you, Sue. And it's a really cool find, excellent find. It's called They Were Expendable. It's by White. It's a story about the Navy in World War II being driven from the Philippines in the early part of the war. In the book was this letter from George E. Hughes in the United States Navy, and he was giving it as a Christmas present, this book. It says, "This book is a bit inaccurate, but the story of those days and these people is epic." And then he goes on to tell about what some of the real people, what happened to some of the real people. In the book also, up front, there's all these little newspaper articles. And most of them were glued in one time, and then they're falling out now. And they deal with Peggy the nurse, who was in the book, Peggy. And she was a heroine of the book. Peggy, who was later captured and released in 1945. And this article's about how she got her release. And she was a character in the book. And the book is also signed by many of the people who were there, including F.W. Rockwell, Rear Admiral of the United States Navy. Now that's pretty good. That's a pretty good signature right there. But it doesn't stop there. Turn the page here, and here's a signature of all the people that were mentioned in the book as fictionalized people, and their real signatures, and yeah, that's pretty neat. I mean, that's quite a find, Susan. And this book later became a 1945 movie directed by John Ford, and it stars John Wayne and Robert Montgomery, and Donna Reed's in the movie. She probably plays Nurse Peggy. I can't say I've ever seen the movie, but I might have to give it a watch now. Again, thank you, Susan, for bringing that in, because that's really awesome. And from the archives, we found this photo. It's a Polaroid of Hal Linden and Abe Vigoda from Barney Miller. Barney Miller. I don't know if you remember that TV show. I do. It was one of my favorite shows. And so here's the star. There's Barney Miller himself and Abe Vigoda, who played Fish. They're signing something, so it must be at a memorabilia show or something like that. Now, I don't know when the picture was taken. However, I will say this. Hal Linden is 92 years old now, and poor Abe Vigoda, he died in 2016. So this photograph is probably over 20 years old. But I was real excited to find it. It's something I've held on to for a long time, and it was a pleasure to find. And that's all I have for today. Good day.